Hey, thank you for coming back to watch yet another one of my videos. And today, I'd like to talk to you about some TEMU products. Yes, TEMU, what everybody is kind of going after, where you can buy things really cheap. And, well, I thought, what the hell, I'll try like 3 different products. And even if one of them is good, maybe I'll try looking for something else on TEMU to review for you. So today, I'm going to show you this. This is a rechargeable battery operated fan. Yes, I've done some before in the past for you. And this thing was like maybe $8.50. And so let's get right into it. There's not a whole lot of specs on here. Like I said, it is a rechargeable fan, and it is USB-C chargeable. There's the little port. On the bottom is the battery compartment, which there's a screw in it, but I took it off for this video. Now, if you notice this little piece of purple or lavender in there, that's the battery. And if you notice, it has a little cover over it. More than just a moment. And it is foldable, as you see here. You just simply take it, fold it up, and set it on your desk. It also can extend up a little bit. This has a good amount of, pretty decent amount of tilt. That's about as far down as it's going to go. And right here is the on and off switch. There's a little bit of indicator lights to tell you what speed the fan is on. If you notice these weird little notches, that's so you could set a phone into it. Now, they claim this to be a desk fan, and hold on, let me get this little thing right here. If you see right here, it says USB, long battery life. Well, keep that in mind. Now, it's made out of an ABS plastic, you know, the kind that kind of bends a little bit. It has a little bit of give to it, so if you happen to drop it, it's probably most likely not going to break. Also, I'd like to make mention at this time, it's a little hard getting it off, but if the blades get dirty, you could take the front grill off. Now, I don't know, see these little, they got these little notches in here. That you line up. I don't know if it's gonna, there's these like little nipples or whatever you want to call it on the inside of the frame. You line up the slots with those things, press it in, you give it like a quarter of a turn, and it locks the faceplate in place. Now, of course, since I'm doing this video and I just showed you that, it's not going to work. So I'm just going to try to get this either, there we go. And it went in, and you just give it a little twist and it goes. Now, it's quite simple. You turn it on. This is the lowest setting. There's not much of a difference from low and medium. And on high, you can hear it ramp up a little bit more. Now, there's no real specs on this fan. Meaning, like, they don't tell you how big the battery is, how long it's going to last, or any of that stuff. It's a pretty simple fan. Now, I did take out all the screws. There's supposed to be screws in here, there's here, and of course for the battery compartment. And there is a reason why I took out all of that stuff, and that's to show you what the battery is. And of course it's not going to pop out right away because I'm trying to film a video and I forgot to bring a flathead screwdriver with me. That's the bottom of the compartment. Now, if you remember when I showed you the battery, there it is right here in this little piece of plastic. Well, you got to take the bottom off in order to get to this, and it's just this little thing. This is a 14500 battery. Usually that only has 700 milliamps for a battery capacity. And if you notice in this battery compartment, it's quite big, but it's also missing a few things. If you look on this side and you look on that side, they got little tiny slots, but there's nothing in there to hold a battery, you know, like the little battery plates. Hold on a second. You know, like a smooth piece of metal on one end and a spring on the other, or something of that nature. If you notice, they don't have that. Now, I got two 18650 batteries. Here's one. And this one is from my Aki flashlight that, yes, it's actually still working. So I'm going to show you this. Here's one. And it fits in there quite nicely. And here's a flat top that fits in there quite nicely. So I think originally this fan was meant to have an 18650 battery in it. But in order to sell it so cheap on TEMU, they just slapped any old battery in there and sold it that way for $8.50. Now the seller, whoever sold this, if they would have just popped in even like a 1200 milliamp hour battery, that wouldn't have been so bad. But they put in some cheap 14500 battery, and let me tell you the speeds on it. On low, I got 36 minutes on low before the fan shut off. And on medium and high, it was like 24 to 26 minutes on the high. And that's it for this little fan. Okay, a lot of you are saying, well, that's still not that bad. I mean, you know, well, yeah, it is. I mean, it's $8.50, or let's just say under $9. You do get what you pay for. I mean, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. The fan, the motor, and everything isn't really all that bad, actually. I had this thing set, you know, setting down about 4.5 feet away from me, and even on the low setting, it kept me pretty cool. You can definitely feel the wind coming at you, and it will keep you cool even at 4.5 feet away. I would say 5 feet would probably be the maximum distance to have this set away from you. Of course, since they're probably meaning it to be like on a desk, maybe at work, they probably would expect you to have it closer. But that very short battery life kind of kills it, because it takes about an hour to an hour and 10 minutes to charge this battery back up. Yes, you can kind of, yes, you can plug it in, charge a battery, and run the fan at the same time, but they only give you a foot-long cable. It's not that long. Yes, it is a USB-A to USB Type-C, so they only give you a foot-long cable, and if your port is long, you know, farther away than a foot, well, you're kind of screwed. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to buy actual battery plates, or terminals, if you will, and I'm going to install them and see how long it runs then. And whenever I do that, because I'm kind of busy right now, I'll probably do like an update on it and stuff like that. But so far, would I suggest you get this little fan from TEMU? Yeah, I'm going to have to say no. The short battery life is terrible. Now, if you're a do-it-yourselfer and you don't mind going and doing some soldering and things of that nature where you can cut this battery out, maybe do what I'm going to do is put some battery plates to slip in there. You can even buy like a little 18650 battery holder and just solder the wires together. If you want to do that, then it's going to be worth every penny. Otherwise, I'm going to have to say no, don't get it. Now, I did say I got 3 products from TEMU. So far, one is proving to be very good. I'll make a video about that one later on. The other one was this. It's a little solar camp light. And if it looks familiar, I did a screw-in light very similar to this. And these will pop down. They're not, I mean, they're somewhat directional, but you can tell that this is really, really cheap plastic. So, like, even though it's directional now, I imagine after time it's going to kind of give up and it's just going to be flat down. It does have a solar panel on there, and it is very sensitive, this solar panel. As you can see, the little blue light on there means it's charging. And it does have a little hook on it, so you can hang it if you like. One of the bad things about it is it comes with a barrel plug charger, or charging port. They do give you this nice little, like, 8-inch long cable, so if you lose it, you're screwed. Once again on the box, which this is it, it doesn't say anything about how big the battery is or whatever. It doesn't give you really any specs. Don't get this. It's horrible. I turned it on when my testing is, first of all, you see the little blue light, that means it's charging. Doesn't go off. I had this thing plugged in for 12 hours straight. This little light, the blue light, stayed on it, so it doesn't go off when it's fully charged, and I don't know if it's fully charged. It could take 24 hours for all I know, because that light just won't go off. Now, after the 12 hours, I was like, okay, this thing has got to be fully charged. So to begin my testing, I always do all my lights on high first, then medium, then low. Well, I only got 23 minutes before this thing started kicking down into the low mode. Battery life on this is horrible. Don't get it. That's high, that's medium, and well, you get a strobing, and that's it. So this thing is kind of horrible. It might be fun as a, like, gag gift, if you ask me. And that's about it. I mean, they must have either glued this thing or sonically sealed it, because I can't find a way to open this thing up to maybe change out the battery. So this light is horrible. Don't get it. It is made out of a cheap plastic, so if it happens to fall on a hard surface, it's most likely going to break. So stay away from this light. The fan, it's going to be left up to you if you really like it or not. I'm going to say no, stay away from it unless you are comfortable with soldering and making modifications to it so this will accept a good size 18650 battery, so you get a lot longer runtime out of it. Like I said, the fan itself it moves a lot of air. It really does. It's not that bad. I don't mind this type of plastic. Basically, it's an ABS type plastic, kind of like what kitchen tools are made out of. So it's not the brittle stuff like this. This type of plastic is brittle. This one is kind of like almost a rubbery type feel to it. So it's not that bad. It's not really heavy either. There's no weight in the base plate at all. One of the things you're definitely going to have to do is put your phone in it to give it enough weight to keep it still, you know, because there's not even any rubber feet on the bottom of this thing. But so far with TEMU, I'm going to have to say I'm getting pretty disappointed. Right now, like I said, though, I got one more product that I'm currently testing to see how well it is. And so far, it's not that bad. There's a few little quirks about it, but so far it's not that bad. And yes, I'm going to be making a video about that very soon. So far with TEMU, best thing I have to say is, number one, read all the reviews. Especially the lower rating or rated reviews, you know, like the 1, 2, and 3 stars, because those tend to be a little bit more accurate in what type of product you're going to get. And of course, the old adage is, if it's too good to be true, chances are it's BS, okay? Of course, I didn't, for $8.50, I did not expect this thing to run for like 10 hours, 8 hours. I expected maybe at least a good hour to maybe 2 hours on low. Not 30 minutes, not 25 minutes. But like I said, with this fan, I'm going to do a little modification to it. And when I do that, maybe I'll make a video about that and let you know what's up with that. But if you happen to like this video, please give it that thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and do not forget about that notification bell. It would really help me out a lot if you were to share this video and maybe a few more of my others on all of your social media. And until the next video, you, your friends, your family, and yes, even all of your pets, you all have a great, cool day. I'll see you in the next video.